Well, construction on Riverfront Drive in Mankato is one step closer to completion. Crews have begun laying down asphalt. City of Mankato says that operation began yesterday from Main Street to Plum and continued today. While the paving work is underway on the southern part of the project, utility work continues on the north end. Officials say that recent rains haven't slowed the work down, and they anticipate opening some parts of the road to local traffic in the next 7 to 10 days.
So once we're able to get paved up to the south side of Rock Street, we'll do local traffic only, so you'll be able to access the front doors of businesses as well as freight traffic and utilize the Elm Street intersection to access businesses and locations on the west side of Riverfront Drive.
McCarty says crews have been working to complete the project ahead of schedule.